Hello, my hearties. A very good evening to you. It's Saturday night. Nothing gets past me. Scottie McClue live just for you, saying DINKY-DOO. Welcome, welcome, I say to you. And we've got only 1 hour tonight of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment for not just one nation, but for all the nations of the world. How amazing is that? Is that not just fabulous? And of course, we are live. So come and give us your chat. Excellent stuff. If you're watching on the TikTok, make sure you follow. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, then do please subscribe. Very, very important. Lots of tap, tap, tappity, tap, tappity, tappity, tap on your phones. And we will see just how many likes we can get tonight. Good evening, Scottie, DINKY-DOO. Tom, good evening. Tom in Belfast there. Good evening, Susan. How lovely to have you with us. Welcome, welcome, I say to you. Now, hello, says Craig. Hello, Craig. How lovely to have you with us on the TikTok. Very, very nice. Up the Royal Artillery, sir. We salute the Royal Artillery. Absolutely. A very fine regiment. Now then, who have we got here? Stephen's just joined us as well. And Deschamps has just joined us. How lovely is that to have you all with us tonight? Amazing, I say to you. Get your comments. Tell us where you're watching from, and I will tell you if I know it. And we'll see what's happening. I'm heading for a walk, Scottie, says Tom. Going to listen to you on the headphones. Tom, this is excellent, and maybe a wee comment or two as well would be very good. It's 12 minutes past 9 in my house. Where have you been? Well, it's actually 3 minutes past 9 new numptied. Where have you been? You need to sharpen up your act. I tell you, we start at 9 o'clock sharp, and you should know that by now. Motherwell, Scottie. Amy, of course, the Motherwell. How fantastic is that? Hello, Scottie, mate. I'm back after a few weeks. Jip. I'm so glad. Up the Dons, says Alan. I fit like Alan up the Dons, eh? Nae bother at that. I'm currently in County Armagh, Scottie, a town called Lurgan. I know Lurgan. I have a good friend from Lurgan. So there you are. What about that? I tell you. So there you go. Mega Shocks just joined us. We love that. How are the Dons doing these days? Charles. Oh, how lovely is that? Amazing stuff. Now, it's a Saturday night, 9 o'clock, a good time for you to tell us. I say to you, I think it's very important. Hello from Liverpool, Evo. We love the bones of you. Thanks you for joining us this week. Great stuff, just great. Cracking weather today. That's our summer done and dusted. No, I think there's a bit more. It's what you call an Indian summer. Have you ever heard that expression, an Indian summer? I would like to know where it comes from, I say to you. Sean and Patricia have been living in Lurgan for 45 years. Wow. Well, you're ahead of me there, Tom. I've only known my friend for 32 years. So there you go. And I'm pretty sure it's Lurgan he's from, I tell you. He's a big Armagh man. India, Scottie. Yes, Amy, very good. It's from India. Oh, how do we know? It might be one from here. There's Phil. Love you, Scottie. DINKY-DOO, Phil. Yes, I've heard of an Indian summer, says Evo. So there you are. Hello, Scottie. How are you, sir? Best wishes from your friend Darren in Nottingham. We love it, Darren, in Nottingham. How beautiful is that? Shua says, how are you doing tonight? Shua, we are amazing tonight. Lovely to have you with us. Hey, buddy, how's things? Not seen you on here much. Jamesy, you must keep your eyes skinned for McClue. What a terrible expression. Your eyes skinned. Hello, Scottie, my friend. How are you? Clink, DINKY-DOO. Can you say hello to Emma in Newcastle County Down? Of course I can, Greg. DINKY-DOO, Emma in Newcastle County Down. Oh, the star of the county down. Everyone knows everyone in Lurgan, Scottie. I would imagine so. I think everyone in Ireland knows everyone in Ireland. Am I not right? You're on late, sir. No, deal. We're usually on 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. And sometimes we've been on later than this. Sometimes we'll do 10, 11, the pop-ups. I think what we need to look at is regularizing it. but I need to know from you when's a good time for you to watch Scottie McClue. Catch you next time. Bye from Liverpool Evo. We love the bones of you. Take great care of yourself. Love to Liverpool, a beautiful city, I tell you. How are you doing, so sure? Sure, we're absolutely fine. We're glad you could join us. I was at the Great Morton game today. It was quite a travel. I was in Cowdenbeath, about 2 hours away. Cowdenbeath in Fife. Yes, we know it. Absolutely. Now, what else have we got here? Thank you for joining us. There's Mahai, has just joined us. Mahai, how fantastic. Are you still in the radio? No, I came off the radio about 4 years ago. So we haven't been back on as yet, but there is a lot of talk of me going back on. So we're up for that, I tell you. Hello, Scottie. It's Johnny from Jersey. Johnny from Jersey, DINKY-DOO. We love you in Jersey, I say to you. The Channel Islands. How's your weather tonight, Johnny? Some people assume the further south you go, the better the weather is, I tell you. Now, there were, Scottie, thoughts on the US election coming up? Well, sure. We're not going to do the politics because it bores people. I think we're maybe not educating people enough, and they get bored very easily. They're used to just watching a few seconds of something on the internet, and they need to learn to sit through election. Maybe we should all go back to church and sit for an hour and listen to a good old-fashioned sermon. Yes, fire and brimstone. So the US election coming up, well, I think it's a done deal, isn't it? Mr. Trump's in for that one, but it would be good to go through the election and see what's happening. I think they had to let people see what it was like without Mr. Trump before people 100% realized how much they needed to be with Mr. Trump. Go Trump. The Scottish are so tight, they won't give you the time of day. Ted Dunn, I've never, ever heard that in my life. To me, the Scottish are very, very generous. They're just careful. I tell you. I understand, so sure. You think Trump will win? Oh, I think so, Amy. I think foregone conclusion. It was very hot today, Scottie. It was very hot in McClue Towers tonight. I just had to go and check the heating before we came on. That may be where Numpty Heed and I got across line. Scottie, have you ever thought of doing the conga? Well, Numpty Heed, I learned the conga, and I learned from a very good teacher. She came from a long line of conga teachers. And so that was quite good. And I also learned the waltz. But you know what it's like, Numpty Heed? You're kind of, one step forward, 2 steps back, that kind of thing. But no, if you want to join me in a conga, Numpty Heed, let's do it. I say, let's do it. Let's fall in love. Right. Can everybody who's watching on the YouTube channel make sure they are subscribed? Go down to the bottom left with your mouse or your finger or however you do these things and click on the thumbs up. So I need 9 people to click on the thumbs up. Fiddy alert. Aye, Fiddy. Do you come for Fiddy at all? Just the old name for Aberdeen was Fiddy. Fiddy, foot of the D. What about the Christoph Waltz? The Christoph Waltz. Don't remember doing that one. I've done a St. Bernard's. I can tell you that. I've done a Pride of Erin. I've done a Strauss, a Blue Danube. Oh, yes, indeed. Does Trump have Scottish ancestry? Yes, he does. His mother was a Scot. So there you are. So he's 50% Scots, the man. Scottie, I tell you, this is fantastic. A soggy biscuit, anyone? Have you got one? Are you from Port Glasgow? Well, I'm the next best thing. I'm from Greenock, and I'm proud to be a branch of the green oak tree. So there you are, you see. I tell you. But no, I've just done a podcast, and I would like everyone's opinion on it. Guys, down to the bottom left, thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Click the thumbs up to let me know you are watching, I tell you. Now, what have we got here? What kind of comments that the real Mons Sheffield? What is that about? I tell you. Very, very strange. Would you feel more confident if Trump was the Prime Minister of Scotland, Scottie? Well, there's not Prime Minister of Scotland, sure. First Minister is the thing. Oh, I mean, outstanding. But you need somebody who's pro Scottish independence to be the First Minister of Scotland. Otherwise, what's the game about? I tell you, I mean, Scotland missed its big chance. Tell me about Thatcher, says Tony. Thatcher, very clever woman, very, very able woman, an outstanding politician, an outstanding prime minister, but she did immense damage to Scotland's economy and to the British economy. Immense damage. Short-term fixes and everything. Few quid in everybody's wallet. Game up. What's your thoughts on Oasis? Well, they're very, very popular. I think they might have to do more than one concert. I do apologise. First Minister, yes, same as Wales here. Absolutely sure, but I notice you've had another change in Wales. So that chap didn't last terribly long. I can't believe the independence vote was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And it was a huge, huge chance. The Scots should have resisted all the negativity, gone for it, and said, look, if I'd been First Minister, I would have said, look, let's do 10 years. And if it doesn't work out, we'll come back and join you. So there we are. Split the economy, get on with it. Keep the crown, everything under the crown. Yes, loyal to the crown. I tell you, if John Sweeney is the First Minister, then who's the last minister? Very good, numpty heat. A wee test there. I think you'll find it was Humza Yousaf. Hi, Scottie. It's Jerry, #1 van driver, Scotland of the West. Jerry DINKY-DOO. And please say, oops, we'll get a bit warm in here, guys. Whew. Had to do a mop down. Jerry, say hi to the cat. Yes, indeed, because I know she'll have been very busy in the last few weeks. George, what's this one? A fan of your Game of Thrones books. Scott, would you have loved to have dated Princess Diana back in the day? Princess Diana, too tall for me. She's too tall for me, I tell you. A very, very talented young lady, I say to you. But I think she had bigger fish to fry than Mr. McClue. There we go. Bless her. So sad. How many years is that now? We're talking, she's been away. Is it 27? 27 years she's been away this year. Oh, my goodness. The U Bridge opened, walk to Partick in 5 minutes. Now, Jerry, have you been out to it? I saw them all celebrating a new bridge in Glasgow. We love it. Yes, indeed. She says, hi, Scottie. Excellent, Jerry. DINKY-DOO. Now, there we are. Who have we got here? Isaac's just shared. Everybody's sharing the lives, guys. Have you checked out the new videos? There's new videos for you, I say to you. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, please get subscribing and go down to the bottom left and click the thumbs up. That's what it's all about, I tell you. Now, there we go. Hang on a wee second. That's marvelous, that is. Scottie, you're the best. I thank you, Marty. DINKY-DOO. Lovely to have you with us. I'm just trying to catch up with all the speed of it going here. I tell you. Jerry says, John Smith. Yes, do you remember John Smith? I was just thinking about John tonight. The great Scots, the great Labour leaders of Scotland, you know. And, well, Tony Blair was educated in Scotland. So that's a start. But no, John Smith. Yeah, my mother actually taught John Smith. So there you go. I tell you, was very friendly with his father. Mr. McClue, what's your take on the peers legislation? Well, we're not going there because I think the House of Lords is actually worth its weight in gold. I wish they wouldn't use it so politically, the leaders, to put their buddies in there. And I think they should have left a lot of the hereditary peers because they're very, very experienced. The big air show here would have been entertaining. Well, Dale, I could tell you about the big air show. I went to it. It used to be called, I think, the Prestwick Air Show. I think it was the Prestwick Air Display. I can't remember. This a long time ago, and we all went for one of my friend's birthdays. Oh, it might have been his 7th or 8th birthday. So you're talking, we went about 60 years ago, and I remember seeing a tiger moth. His dad was an RAF man, and he pointed me out the tiger moth, and I said, "Is it new?" And he said, "No, tiger moths have been flying for years." And then I realized it was tested in 1935. Captain Hubert Broad, the de Havilland's chief test pilot. You're right, it was Prestwick, yes. I opened my first bank account at the air show. Yes, Stephen, the banks used to all be represented and all the different air companies, British European Airways and all that. I tell you, Scottie, would you like a picture of Maggie on your wall? I think Numpty Heed I could perhaps live without that. I do have a big portrait of Queen Elizabeth, which you've seen. And you said you reckoned it had been whipped out the governor's office in the nick. I tell you. So there we go. Yes, indeed. Yes, the Leather Bridge to be opened soon. Renfrew to Clyde Bank. Are they doing away with the ferries? Is this the thing? You used to be able to, do you live in a big house? I live in a bed sit. So and I'm sitting on the bed. So when I stand up, the bed goes wallop up against the wall there and fits in BOAC. BOAC, what about BCAL, John Donnelly, British Caledonian? I can go back to seeing East African Airways. I used to have a chap phone me on the phone in Preston, and he had been a pilot for British East African Airways, or just East African Airways. What about, there was BOAC. I think John Reith might have been a director of BOAC. I'm not sure about that. I'll need to check. I did know another chap who was an Air Commodore, and he was heavily involved with BOAC. Yes, indeed. Very, very lucky to be acquainted with people like that, I can tell you. Good evening from Port Glasgow. We love you in Port Glasgow. Freddie Laker, yes, Laker Airlines. Marvelous stuff. What else did we have in the days gone by? British Caledonian. I was telling you about that one. KLM, of course, we still got. Fantastic. Why don't you start your own football phone in? Jimsy, I would in a heartbeat. My only problem is I don't know anything about football. And I've probably told you the famous story before when the head of sport at the radio station heard me telling a joke with a bit of football commentary in it. And I'm good. And there he goes out to Smith. Oh, what a cross, and all the rest of it, and George picks it up. There he goes, right into the back of the net. Everybody going berserk. Anyway, he said, Scottie, do you want to join us in the commentary box on Saturday? And I said, I don't know anything about football. He said, oh, well, you'll fit in with the rest of us. I thought that was a gorgeous story. I've told it before. Certain of you viewing right now will have heard it. Dan Air, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I've flown with them. I think it was a Fokker. It was a Fokker friendship I flew in. So there you are, a Fokker friendship. How amazing is that? Yes, indeed. And all the old aircraft. Anybody get any aircraft that they know about? So there we are. They'd like a mention. The Sopwith Camel. I learned something this week that I hadn't quite realized. Walter Bentley of the Bentley motor cars. Walter Bentley was a very, very good engineer. and Walter Bentley's company built engines for the Sopwith Camels, for Tommy Sopwith. McDonnell Douglas, the DC-10. What about going back to a Douglas Dakota? My father flew in as a paratrooper, DC-3. The DC-9. I used to fly in a single prop, the DC-3. That's it, man in black. Yay, Motherwell. Are you a mason, says Chris. I know very little about stonework and brickwork, you know. So I would need to call somebody in, I tell you. But it's a wonderful, wonderful craft. I would like to learn more about it, and bricklaying as well, and polishing ashlars, that sort of stuff. But no, I'm not. I'm a broadcaster and an academic. So there you have it. I tell you. Maria's just joined us, the wonderful Maria Knight. What a joy, Maria, to have you with us. And I can't thank you enough for all your kindness to Scottie McClue and all your many gifts. We never, ever ask anybody to give anything, but if they're feeling flush, and you just helped me all the time. So there you go. Now then, SAS Scandinavia. Yes, John Donnelly. Fantastic. Aer Lingus, another fabulous company. EasyJet, I've flown many, many times. Love it. And somebody said, what about a meal in the... I said, look, I'm going to London. It takes just over 50 minutes with a following wind. I don't need a meal. I have the exact same hat. I am very pleased to hear it. We must stick together, I tell you. So there you are. Do you think Fiona Bruce is a lovely lass? Well, she's an excellent broadcaster, I can tell you that. Scottie, it's been ages since I last heard Scotland the Brave. I've forgotten how it goes. That all right, there we are. It's not a hat, it's a bonnet, says Man in Black. Good one, Man in Black. You know your stuff. It is indeed a bonnet. You're a legend, Scottie, honestly. Well, do you know, we had one or two people going, your shows are not so controversial. I said, look, we can't do all that big stuff on here or we'll just get shut down. So you've got to ask yourself, and I don't mind if you're honest about your answer, do you want to see and hear Scottie McClue or do you not? That's the choice we've been given nowadays, guys. I tell you, do you not? I was in Largs 2 weeks ago, first time since I was a wee boy. You like it there, Amy? I don't like Largs. I love Largs. I tell you. East of Mombasa, was it a sea monkey? Well, of course, east of Mombasa is the sea, the ocean. You're in the ocean. Too much of a nanny state? I think so, Man in Black. Yes, I think they panic too much. But Star, when you think that very, very experienced, very successful, very senior business people used to trust me with their finest asset worth millions and millions of pounds every night for 3 hours, and we never put a foot wrong. What about that? I tell you. We want Scottie McClue back. Yes, Bert. Listen, I think the world would benefit from a Scottie McClue show 1 hour a night, doing what we're doing on here, but calls, emails, texts, dedications, letters, even if they're cheeky, you know, get everything. We can rip them up. They can go in the big black plastic file. Chris says, is this all Masonic good? I wouldn't know, Chris. You'll have to tell me. You obviously know what you're talking about. Scott FM was super. There you are. Scott FM was outstanding. And the lovely, lovely appreciation from an old boss who said, Scottie, you turned a £500,000 project into a £28 million success story. How many people can say that? I tell you. I didn't do it on my own. There we are. There were lots of willing helpers, but it was just me and the lovable lass at night for the big, big programs to get into the millions. So there you go. Have you been to Lugar? John Donnelly, you'll be surprised. I've not only been to Lugar, I've been to Moscow. I don't think that's what the Lugar was called after, though, was it? Alistair Patterson, lots of military US C-17 planes at Preston over the last year, Scotty. Why? Now, Alistair, the C-17, is that effectively the Hercules? Because that is a magnificent aircraft. I remember listening to you. It was brilliant. I had my next door neighbor, his brother-in-law was a squadron leader. Hang on. And I remember I saw him just over the garden wall one time, and I said, just the man. I said, I was a bit worried last night. I said, I saw a Hercules. Could it have been a C-14? Don't know. I need to check all this. I said, I saw a Hercules. I said, and it had quite a bit of black smoke trailing from its engines. I was worried about it. And he smiled. He smiled and he went, you'll probably find she refueled in America and the fuel's a little bit dirtier over there at times. And it just results in a little bit more smoke. And he smiled and went, should be all right. Don't worry yourself. There's Bert. Bert's definitely a Rangers man. A Rangers man, Bert. DINKY-DOO. You are the people. He keeps laughing at it. Laughing at the Rangers. No. I think the Rangers have done very well. Maybe not on the pitch, but, you know, coming through all the stuff they've come through. Scotty, did you ever get a sore finger using the dump button? Yes, I used to go into the chippy and they would say, sore finger. I said, sorry, sore finger. And it was actually salt and vinegar. The salt vinegar. No, the dump button, we not to heat. We were usually ahead of the half-wits, let's be honest. Are you for the scheme? Yes, Aidan. What scheme are we talking? So there we go. There's lots of schemes at the moment. There's a lot of scheming people about. The skimmies. Do you remember that? And the one I love is away up in the Hebrides when somebody goes, oh, yes, I think I know who you mean. They know fine, but they do all this. Oh, I know who you mean. I think they're up in the scheme. And when you go to the scheme, then you'd find out that it was half a dozen beautiful whitewashed houses, 3 and 4 bedroom with lovely gardens. The scheme. Growing heathers and lavender and all that. That was the scheme. Because they were from the council. Why do squadron leaders not lead a squadron? Well, they will lead a squadron, but it's the same as saying, why do commanders in the Navy not command a ship? So sometimes you'll have a commander in the Navy who's been given a job of resident naval officer for an area, you know, depending on the size of the area. And I love it because when you ring these people up, you get not their secretary, you get their clerk or their clerk. Their clerk. And the clerk answers the phone. And you say, could I speak to Commander McClue, please? And they go, oh, who's calling? Is it Scottie McClue? Oh, yes, I'm just putting you through. And then this voice goes, RNO, RNO. Resident Naval Officer, all in uppercase, the RNO. You can say, well, I've just spoken to the RNO. There we are. 100% true blue, Scotty. Good for you, Bert. Yes, indeed. There we are. I never say what I am. I could be blue. I could be green. I could be red and white. There you go. I tell you. Now, has everybody watching followed? Because if you haven't, then what am I to do with you? What kind of people are you? So there we are. Who's the biggest landowner in Scotland, says Robert Scrimger. I would say, Robert, off the top of my head, and I may be wrong, I would have been right in the past, I would say it's the Forestry Commission. So there we go. The Forestry Commission. It'll be a toss-up nowadays, probably between the Forestry Commission and the Crown Estates. But you get back to me, Robert. I might be wrong, as I say. I'm always, I wouldn't say happy to be proved wrong, but I'm always willing to learn, because I learn and learn and learn all the time. And one of the things I can tell you about knowledge is that the more you have, the more you realize you don't know. So there you go. So there's a slight sadness that when I come to the end of my earthly journey, I won't necessarily know everything. Maybe that's just me being a little bit lazy. I tell you. So there, Scottie, why are the clouds shaped like UFOs? Alistair, they might be UFOs. I think there's a lot of things that maybe officialdom doesn't want to tell us. All that stuff, do you know what I mean? So there we go, the UFOs. Well, can you give me the cloud shapes? You've got the long one, long and thin, stratus. You've got the big, heavily laden rain clouds, cumulus and nimbus. And then you can mix them up and have cumulonimbus. And then you've got the little puffy ones, tiny little puffs, and they are cirrus. And you can have cirrostratus. See what I'm saying? There's all that different stuff. Amy says, who's Scotland's richest person? Scotland's richest person. Well, I won't mention names, Amy. We don't do that. No names, no pack drill on here. Guys, if you're watching on the YouTube, can everyone go down the bottom and give me a thumbs up? Thumbs up. You'll see a little thumbs up, or is it that way? I think it might be that way to you. I'm not sure if this is mirrored. So there you go. I mean, if I held something up with writing, can you tell me if it's round the right way? What if I held you this up? Right, what do you see, A, on the TikTok, and B, on the YouTube channel? TikTok used to be able to just press a little thing and it turned it the right way. So there we go. And you could be right, Scottie. I tell you, thank you, Robert. Was that a good one? Is it true Prestwick was the first golf course in Scotland? Somebody told me it was. I always thought it was St Andrews. The first golf course, I think, might have been Leith Links. You see, Mary, Queen of Scots, played golf, a form of golf, before it was actually invented. It was invented in the 1600s, if that doesn't sound a bit strange to say. Prestwick is certainly a very old and very prestigious golf course. I can remember that because two of my old friends, very senior in broadcasting, were big on Prestwick Golf Club. They used to be members of Prestwick Golf Club, and on a summer's day, I think that might have been where you would have found them. So there we go. Musselburgh, says Alistair. Yes, Musselburgh. Was that one of the originals? I did a program on golf at St Andrews a long time ago. Andrew Hall is sending Scottie McClue red roses. You're very kind, guys. If anybody's feeling flush, pop a red rose in. I've only got 1,600 likes so far tonight. Tut, tut, tuttity, tut. So there we go. Is a ban on smoking in pub beer gardens going too far? Well, I think, Numpty, they really want to ban smoking. And I read recently that a lot of the tobacco companies have not invested, obviously, in tobacco, surprisingly, but they've invested in processed food. So there you are. So there's a lot to do with processed food. I used to love a visit to the big tobacconists in the town, and you could buy every kind of cigarette under the sun. And they were all on display. No warnings, no pictures of diseased lungs or carcinogenic lungs on the packet. fancy pictures of happy people smoking away, and pipes, lighters, pens for some reason. There were big, you got tobacconists and stationers. So there you go. Guys, down to the bottom and a big thumbs up if you're on the YouTube channel. And get subscribing. Yes, we need, how many subscribers do we need tonight? We need 400 of you, so get sharing this. Can I share it on here? I don't know if I can. I'll just check and see if I can share it on here. No, I can't share that. So that's come up with that. I have to sort all that out. I'll maybe share it on here. And there we go. How about that? I'm going to share it on X, guys. Let everybody know we're on X. There we are. I've just posted it on X. How good is that? How good am I? I sound like little Jack Horner. Anybody know the story of Jack Horner? All your nursery rhymes. Hello from Port Glasgow. Hello, Kurgan. And lovely to have you with us in DINKY-DOO. I'm not from a scheme. I was brought up in Twecker. Oh, Twecker's very swish. We in the Miners' Raw in Twecker. Is there a Miners' Raw in Twecker? I'm a man with a 6-inch steel rule in my pocket. You're a surveyor. There we go. DINKY-DOO, I said you. The beauty state, beautiful. Do you know where Lord Bute's money came from originally? Cardiff docks. Check it out. What happened to people? Human rights. I'm a non-smoker. If someone wants to smoke, that's up to them. Yes, Susan, but I think it was very addictive and it caught on really during the First World War. And you had one company, I won't mention it, that used to sell cigarettes were sold by weight, not by count. So you didn't buy 20 cigarettes. You could buy a quarter pound of cigarettes, please. And they would package it all up for you and all that stuff. Why was everything in Star Trek coming to fruition? Swoosh doors, mobile phones and lasers. Because Man in Black, the people that wrote Star Trek, were people of great vision. And maybe people got the idea from Star Trek. Said, I quite like these swoosh doors, you know. So we'll put them in our hotel. The hotels used to have a big kind of gold lattice gates that they pulled over. And there was usually an operator in the lift with a handle. Have you ever got on in any of the big stores? And there was an operator. I remember that. So there you are. Yes, human rights. We wonder about human rights. One lot are telling us to get away from the European Court of Human Rights. And another lot are telling us we're losing our human rights. We don't want that. I tell you, what a beautiful gift from Sandy. Sandy DINKY-DOO, I say to you, Ashton, you've just earned yourself a lifetime ban. What a half-witted person. So there we go. I love you, Scotty. Hi from Carl Donald, DINKY-DOO. Fantastic. Who else have we got here? We're packed tonight, guys. I'm telling you. Who sat in the corner? That was little Jack Horner. And he put in, little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, what a good boy am I. Little Jack Horner was, I think, a 15th century monk. And he inherited the whole monastery in a huge estate. So he put his thumb in the pie and pulled out a plum. Michael, thank you for my first gift for sending red roses. Guys, this is so beautiful of you guys to send me all these red roses. Thank you very, very much indeed. Now then, what have we got here? Andrew, we don't know that. Yes, we don't know that. I remember when X was an over 18, now it's social media. Yes, indeed. Oh, Andrew Hall, what are you doing, you generous man? Scotty, why does the Balmoral gathering take place after all the other Highland Games are finished? Any ideas? Well, it's not actually the Balmoral gathering. It's the Braemar gathering. And I think probably you'll find, and I might, again, be open to correction, I think you'll probably find that they may have wanted royal personages as the chieftains for some of the other Highland Games, and they wanted to make sure that they would be available for Braemar. Also, a lot of your champions from the other Highland Games would have been able to partake, and it might have made them like the Highland Super Games. Am I on the right track, Robert? I always like if you tell me. So there we are. Alistair Patterson says Musselburgh was where golf was invented. So there you are, Musselburgh, very, very old. I used to shop in Musselburgh. I did. Yeah. Musselburgh is a very, very pivotal place. Got a wonderful ice cream shop for a start. Lucas Ice Cream did an advert there. Marvellous. It really was marvellous. And then you've got Loretto School, one of the big Scottish public schools, Loretto School. And you've got Musselburgh Racecourse. You've got the mining community in Musselburgh. So a very healthy, you've got the seaside. You've got, is it the Esk flowing into the Forth there? Marvellous. You've got lovely surroundings of East Lothian. You had the Battle of Pinkie. When was the Battle of Pinkie? Was it the 1500s? Pinkie House. Oh, it's quite outstanding. I think Carnoustie might be the oldest. John Donnelly, are you working me from the back? Carnoustie is great for the links. I know that. I tell you. Are we all watching, guys? Has everybody followed on the TikTok? Has everybody subscribed on the YouTube? I think we should be told. I think it's only fair. Yes, indeed. Now, is Saturday night 9 o'clock suitable for every day? Or should I pick another time? Everything's open to... Who sent me a beautiful gift of a heart? Thank you so much. Guys, thank you for all your lovely, lovely gifts. Very, very kind of you. Red roses, hearts, love hearts. Thank you, Michael. So there we are. We're talking about the oldest golf course tonight. I also wanted to mention foodstuffs. Oh, that's lush. Foodstuffs. And I'll tell you, Alistair Patterson says 68 golf clubs played at Musselburgh in 1890. Wow. Well, Alistair, I think I've probably told you the story a million times, but I was invited for lunch at one of the most prestigious golf clubs. And I got told, yeah, but do dress up, Scotty, do dress up, you know. Get your blazer on and your tie. Oh, yes, yes. So we're having lunch, and I was introduced to some illustrious people, so-called. And guys, more thumbs up on the YouTube and more subscribing. We need 400 subscribers by the end of play tonight. So, and there's lots of good movies up there for you as well. So you've nothing. You've no reason not to subscribe to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel. All it is Scottie McClue Talk Show on YouTube. I think Queen Victoria started the first Braemar gathering in 1842. Well, she would only have been in the throne for 5 years. I have a lot of friends attend the Braemar gathering, and I saw them all last year. I could actually see them on camera and on YouTube. I thought, oh, look who we've got here. Isn't that fantastic? So there you have it. Do you know that Queen Victoria was 1 year older? Whoa! Who just sent me a big baseball cap? Guys, what are you doing? You're sending gift after gift after gift. Everybody's sending me a gift. I'll be able to take early retirement. Thank you. You're very, 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 very kind. Very kind. Very thoughtful. Have you got the red golf jacket? Well, no, Alistair, wait to tell you. I haven't finished the story yet. Susan says, Saturday night is good. There's Greenock Drone Guy. We love you, Greenock Drone Guy. Thank you for all your drone stuff. So, what was I going to tell you? Oh, yes. So we're sitting having lunch. And in those days, I took a refreshment. So I mean, a bottle of very fine wine for lunch. He leans forward, Alistair, and he pats me on the arm. He goes, I think if you play your cards right, I can get you in here. And I leant forward and I patted him on the sleeve and I said, well, don't you put yourself out because I don't golf. Do you like it? So there you are. The Bowmakers made the first golf clubs. Yes, indeed. Well, Alistair Patterson, I don't know if you know the story. Mary, Queen of Scots, got young French soldiers who looked after her, the cadets in French, les cadets, to carry her golf clubs, the caddies. And that's where it comes from. It's not C-A-D-D-Y at all. Like when you people see advertised golf caddy, C-A-D-D-Y. So it's a les cadets. The Dutch fisherman gave us the game, says Alistair Patterson. Ah. Have you ever seen oh, what's your name? My goodness me. The comedian. In fact, I saw him today. That's terrible. I've put up some stuff on YouTube about him. Wonderful, wonderful American comedian taken from us too early. Yes, the Dead Poets Society. Robin Williams. Just wouldn't come to me there. Robin Williams, little skit on golf, I tell you. Yes, I'm a golf historian. So there you are. You're a golf historian, Alistair. Interesting. The Dutch gave us so much, I tell you. Right, so we got here. Oh my goodness, I've just seen the time, guys. Where does the time go to, as we always say? Sandy, you've just got number 2 gifter. Is everybody watching just giving Scottie McClue a gift? That's what it looks like. Guys, I'm very, 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 very appreciative of your kindness. Somebody was asking me the other day, said, I love your lives on TikTok. What's it like going live? Have you not got a lot of haters? I said, no. In fact, I think we're down to about 1 hater per hour. And that's just some halfwit that doesn't get it. Everybody else that comes and watches couldn't be nicer. Couldn't be nicer, I tell you. We might get the old phone-ins going again. Get everybody on for a chit-chat. Been fascinating tonight with your input, though, Alistair. Thank you. The background to golf. Just going to have a comfort break, guys. I'm up down with the heat. Woo. Can you imagine? September in Scotland. Oh, McClue's roasted. McClue is roasted. I tell you, sorry, I'm sitting a bit close on the YouTube channel there. Have we all subscribed and done a thumbs up down at the bottom? It's small numbers on the YouTube at the moment, but they will get the message. I'm still working out how to let everybody know when we're on. Because I've always believed if people know Scottie McClue's on, the big audiences will appear and reappear. Yeah. There we are. There's the wonderful Susan. Susan Forrest in Lancashire. A great live tonight, Scottie. I thank you, Susan. We'll blow your kiss to Lancashire. There we go. Alistair Patterson. Musselburgh has the oldest golf film or firm. Now, Alistair, are you familiar with the Swill Can Burn? There you are. What about that one? Where would I find the Swill Can Burn? There's an easy one for you, Alistair. just to start you off. Guys, if you've got any questions for the wonderful Alistair Patterson, do let me know, and I'll put them to him if you're into golf. Oh, my goodness me. Right, I need another 50 followers immediately on TikTok, and I need another 400 subscribers on YouTube. So there we go. I'm not asking for the world, am I? Yes, it's been an excellent live tonight, Susan. Thank you. Would you all agree? Do you think tonight's been a very good live? Yes, we like your input. We've got less than 10 minutes left, I tell you. Might give you a tune on the squeeze box before we all go. I have a lot of boxes of golf history. I'll bet, Alistair. I have got a beautiful thing. I'll need to see if I can find it and show you. And it's all about golf. So there we go. I've got it somewhere. I'll have it ready, and then I can hold it up and you can see it. I'm just wondering if I think there's a book on golf here. Although, as I say, I don't golf. There's books on everything here. It's time for a clear out. I was asking somebody last week, I'm beginning to knock on a wee bit, and I love my books. There's thousands of books. What do I do with them all? Because if truth be told, I'm not going to get to read them all again, but I do a lot of reference and cross-referencing work. Trump won't last 4 years. John Donnelly, when did you suddenly become God? Who made you God? I tell you, we'll hope Mr. Trump will last as long as he lasts, and we'll hope God is good to him. I tell you. Great, says Alistair. Oh, yes, indeed. What do you do with it all when you've collected it all? Another thing I'm big on, Alistair, is the Clyde steamers. Andrew, no, negative thinking. We just have to batten down the hatches and hope that an election gets called, and we can move on. What's the difference between a lion and a tiger? A lion wouldn't play golf, but a tiger would. I see what you just did there, Amy. I'll tell you what I did do, and you'll like this one, Alistair. I had a friend in Southport, and we used to go to the Southport, to Royal Birkdale. We used to go to the Southport and Birkdale Cricket Club. I've still got the tie from 54 years ago. 54 years. My tie of the Southport and Birkdale Cricket Club is 54 years old. There was an operator in Lewis's shop in Argyle Street for the lift. Man in black, there was indeed. We used to love it, going up and down in the lift. There's a lovely story about a lady and her daughter came from the Hebrides to Glasgow, and they were shopping. And the lift doors opened, and an old man shuffled on. And then a minute later, the lift doors opened, and an Adonis of a young man came out. And the mother turned to her daughter and said, "If I'd known there'd a machine like that in Glasgow, would have brought your father." Should Harry and Meghan lose all titles? Andrew, I think we need to cut these poor souls some slack, have a media blackout, and let them get on with their life. Just don't mention them at all. Get together and say, look, leave these poor people alone. Just don't mention them. That's it. No publicity, please, and give them a chance to live in quiet happiness in obscurity. That's the thing. Scotty, remember the old lifts with the brass handles and gates? That's what we're talking about, Numpty. Where were you earlier, Numpty? I'm wondering if you join us at the start and then slope off, go out with a Doug, then come back at the end and go, oh, good show, Scotty. I'm on to something here, Numpty, because we were talking about the brass handles and the operator. Forward and back, up and down, that stuff. And he usually had a uniform on. and the lifts were quite big, and there was a mirror in them. And somebody was talking about that recently. They said, listen, people were complaining about lifts being slow. Stick a mirror in them. Everybody enjoys looking at themselves. They'll never complain again. There's all these things. There was a company were going to spend millions on upgrading their lifts. So just stick a mirror in and the people will not complain. So there we go. Isn't it interesting? Human nature. What are your thoughts on Labour so far, Scotty? Greg, I wouldn't even go there. I wouldn't even visit. Do you know what I mean? It's just not worthy of a visit. Not worthy of a visit. It's just the whole situation, you just want to shake your head. And it must be intentional, you know. So there you are. Total contempt. Absolutely. Evening, sir. How's it going with you tonight? Have you heard of the Mackenzie gathering? Yes, I have. In fact, is it not a tune, Jay? Is it not a tune, the Mackenzie gathering? I think there might well be. Thank you for all your gifts, guys, tonight. It's just been beautiful. All these beautiful red roses. Let's get more followers on the TikTok. New videos for you, and I need you to tell me what you think of my first podcast. Just yesterday evening. It's on Greenock. It's history. And I want you to listen to it. Don't just listen to the history. Listen to the podcast and think, could I listen to this as a podcast? Could I be in my car and put SCOTTIE McCLUE on my sound system, I would imagine we call it now. I was going to say your radio. Play the tune, says John Donnelly. I don't know if we've got time, John. I'm just looking at the time, and we are very, very tight for time. So there we are. We'll maybe get a tune another time, if that was all right with you, John. You know, I tell you, love you, Scotty. Sandy, you're very kind. The thumb won the pinky battle. Good one, Jay. We love that. Night-night, Scotty, mate. Night-night, Scott. Take care of yourself. I tell you, thanks, Chrissy. Lovely man, says Chrissy. Chrissy, you're very, very kind to me. There we are. Oh, I don't know about that, Ringo. Mon, the Glasgow Celtic. There would have been guards up in the hills. Brilliant man, Robin. Very, very clever. So posh, Scotty. Oh, Chrissy. Posh. I don't think so. God bless our Scotty, says Chrissy. Did I listen to you on a Scottish radio station? I'm a Fifer. Yes, Deke. Huge in Fife. We were huge in Fife. Guys, I've got to say night-night and God bless to you beautiful TikTokers. Night-night and God bless, my darlings. Love you. There we are. That's our TikTokers had to go. Great show, Scotty. Alistair Patterson, I thank you. Good night, everyone, says Susan. Good night, everyone, says Scotty. It's just been incredible tonight, guys. Can't thank you enough. Thank you for all your lovely gifts. Keep watching the YouTube channel for new videos. And remember, there's spectacular movies from my collection for you uploaded on the channel. So when you've had enough of McClue, trying to get through the, how many have we got? Is it, I'm trying to think how many, 5,500 videos on the YouTube channel. 5,500. Come on, what's going on? I ask you. So there we are. So get subscribing, and when you're wanting a break, watch one of my top movies. That's it, guys. Love you lots, and we'll say good night. God bless, DINKY-DOO, and ta-ra, lads. Stick your tongue out. Bye-bye.